My mom left this world. The women who were supposed to love me betrayed me for another man. And worst of all, we lost our home. Our family was gone. Then God sent a miracle that changed everything. I didn't believe in Jesus, not really. I thought people made him up to feel better about their broken lives. I thought faith was just a crutch for weak people who couldn't handle reality. I was so wrong. Let me tell you how wrong I was. I was 23 when my mom got sick. Cancer, stage 4. The doctors gave her 3 months. She lasted 6, fighting for every breath, and you know what her last wish was? Not to see the ocean, not to travel. She wanted to see me married. I want to know you'll have someone when I'm gone, she said, holding my hand with what little strength she had left. I want to see you happy before I go. So I got married, arranged marriage through family friends. The girl was nice enough, came from a good family, and I had a decent job at a tech company. It wasn't love, but it was my mother's dying wish. We got married 2 weeks before she passed. She smiled at the wedding, real smile, first one I'd seen in months. That made it worth it. After Mom died, life moved forward like it does. My wife and I figured out how to live together. 2 years passed. We had a daughter, beautiful little girl who looked just like her mother, but had my stubborn streak. By the time she turned 3, I thought we'd made it work. We had a small house, steady income, normal problems. Life was good, stable. Then things started changing. My wife started coming home late, first just an hour here and there. Traffic, she'd say, then it became 2 hours, 3 hours. Went shopping with friends, had dinner with coworkers. I didn't question it at first. We were both young, 26 and 25. She deserved to have a life outside our house. But it kept getting worse. One night, I'm watching TV with my daughter. She loved these cartoon shows that played the same commercials over and over. This one ad kept coming on. Best homes, best locations, cheapest prices in the city. Why rent when you can own? The more I saw it, the more it made sense. Why were we throwing money away on our mortgage when we could get something better, bigger, for less? I called the number. The man who answered was so professional, so convincing. He said they were a new company, disrupting the market, cutting out the middlemen. We have a beautiful 4-bedroom house, perfect for a growing family, half what you're paying now. I told my wife that night. She was excited, more excited than I'd seen her in months. Let's do it. We can use our savings for furniture, vacations, better schools for our daughter. So we did it, sold our house, got a decent profit, took out a loan from the bank for the new place, signed all the paperwork. The whole process took 2 months, and during those 2 months my wife was barely home. But I was too busy with the house stuff to really notice. Moving day came, we packed everything, hired movers, drove to the new address. The house was already occupied. A family of 5 been living there for 10 years. They had no idea what we were talking about. I called the company, number disconnected, website gone, office address didn't exist. We'd been scammed, everything gone. Our old house sold, money transferred to scammers, loan from the bank still due. We had nothing. I'm standing there on some stranger's lawn, moving truck behind me, daughter asking why we can't go inside our new house, and my phone starts ringing. My friend calling. Bro, turn on the news now. The scam was all over the news. Dozens of families, same story, fake company, fake contracts, fake everything. The reporters were calling it the biggest real estate fraud in the state's history. The police came 2 hours later, told us they'd seized all the properties. We had to leave immediately. They'd provide temporary housing, a motel, for a few days while we figured things out. When I got to work the next day, everyone knew. Some coworkers were sympathetic, others weren't. How could you not check? Didn't you verify the company? I would never fall for something so obvious. The humiliation was almost worse than losing the money. That evening, I came back to our motel room. My daughter was alone, crying on the bed. She was only 3, but she knew something was wrong. "Where's Mommy?" I asked. She handed me a piece of paper, still sobbing. "Mommy said give this to you." The letter was short. My wife was leaving. She'd been seeing someone else, someone she'd dated before our marriage. She couldn't handle this disaster. She was sorry, but she'd only married me because her parents forced her. Now that we'd lost everything, she saw no reason to pretend anymore. I sat there holding my crying daughter in a motel that smelled like cigarettes and despair, with divorce papers and foreclosure notices, and I did something I hadn't done since Mom's funeral. I prayed. Jesus, if you're real, if you're there, help me. I don't know what I did to deserve this. My mom's gone, my wife's gone, my money's gone, but this little girl needs me and I don't know how to save us. Please help me." Nothing happened, no voice from heaven, no sudden miracle, just silence and my daughter eventually crying herself to sleep. The next 2 days I searched for apartments. Everything was too expensive. My credit was destroyed from the scam. Nobody wanted to rent to someone in my situation. The motel kicked us out on day 3, police voucher expired. I was walking down Madison Street with my daughter, all our belongings in 2 suitcases, trying to figure out where we'd sleep that night. The weather had been calm all day, but suddenly, out of nowhere, this massive wind kicked up, like someone turned on a giant fan. There was an old lady, maybe 70, same age my mom would have been, walking ahead of us. She was carrying a folder of papers, and when the wind hit, everything went flying. Documents scattered everywhere, spinning in the air like confetti. Then just as suddenly as it started, the wind stopped. Dead calm, the papers floated down like snow. I put down our suitcases and helped her gather everything. Bank statements, medical records, family photos. While we picked them up, she kept looking at me and my daughter. "I haven't seen you around here before. You new to the neighborhood?" We're looking for a place to rent, me and my daughter." "Where's your wife?" Something about her eyes, the way she asked, made me tell her everything. The scam, the abandonment, the motel, all of it. I'm standing there on the sidewalk, spilling my guts to a complete stranger while my daughter plays with a stick she found. The old lady listened to everything. Then she smiled, this warm, knowing smile that reminded me so much of my mother. "Come with me." She led us 3 blocks to a small 2-story house. White fence, garden in front, wind chimes on the porch. Inside was clean, organized, but empty. Too empty, like someone living alone who'd given up trying to fill the space. "I live here by myself," she said. "My son lives in Germany. My husband passed 5 years ago. This house has 4 bedrooms and I only use 1. I eat dinner alone, watch TV alone, go to sleep alone. It would be nice to hear voices again, a child laughing." She started crying then, not sad tears, but lonely tears. The kind you cry when you realize how empty your life has become. "Stay here, you and your daughter. I don't want rent, I just want company. I want to feel like a grandmother. Is that okay?" I looked at this stranger who'd appeared exactly when I needed her, in a wind that came from nowhere and stopped for no reason, and I saw my mother's kindness in her eyes. "Yes," I said, "thank you." We moved in that day. My daughter had her own room for the first time since we lost the house. Mrs. Chen, that was her name, cooked dinner for us. Real food, not motel vending machines. My daughter called her Grandma Chen within a week. 2 days after we moved in, my phone rang. The police. "Mr. Williams, we've arrested the scammers, tracked them down through their bank accounts. We've seized all their assets. You'll be getting your money back, probably within a month. Full restitution." I sat there in Mrs. Chen's kitchen, in this house that appeared when I needed it most, listening to news that came exactly when I'd stopped hoping for it, and I finally understood. The wind that scattered those papers, that wasn't random. Mrs. Chen needing help at that exact moment wasn't coincidence. Her loneliness matching our homelessness wasn't luck. The scammers getting caught right after we found shelter wasn't karma. It was Jesus, it was God, it was exactly what I'd prayed for, just not how I expected it. You want to know how God saved me from a car accident? When my life was broken, my dad was in the hospital, and my wife left me. You want to know what happened next? Click here to watch the full video.